What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris, the Atari Creep here. And I'm sorry for this being a voiceover type thing. Kids are home today. And I planned on doing this video, but I planned on not doing it. Now I feel like I need to do it. NES Classic Mini Edition Nightmare. I'm sure you all know it is being discontinued. Now, Nintendo did say that it was only going to be a short-term kind of deal, so I guess in a way we can't really fault them for that, but I don't know, this is just another classic example of Nintendo being bullies, in my opinion, and there's no other way around it. You can't convince me otherwise. The problem with this is, we control these companies, though it looks like they're controlling us. And it's kind of a symbiotic relationship. We vote with our dollars. Okay? I've been on the fence for the past, now, couple months on something. Modern consoles scare the fuck out of me. They really do. DSL and updates and all kinds of crazy shit that I know nothing about. I know how to put a cartridge or a CD into a console, turn it on, set up whatever I need to set up for that specific game, and then play the fucking thing. That's all I know. I know nothing about modern consoles. I really don't. And it just seems overwhelming to me. But I made it my goal this year to buy a brand new modern console. Now, I've been leaning towards the PlayStation 4 for a while now, mainly because of that Friday the 13th game. And once in a while I go back and forth between the Xbox and the PlayStation 4, and it's only because the Xbox has a controller that I feel is a better, I don't want to say a better product, because they both do their job, but it fits better in my hands, though I am a PlayStation guy. But then the Switch came out, and even though I'm still kind of meh about it, I've actually been considering buying it, simply because I know there'll be fun stuff on it, and it won't be as complicated and as convoluted as a lot of these newer systems are. But I think that's out the window now, and the main reason why is because I feel like we're being bullied by Nintendo. We always have been. If you go all the way back to the NES, I can't tell you about the Famicom because I wasn't there for that shit, but if you go all the way back to the NES, there's always some bullshit with numbers. Chip shortages on cartridges and stuff like that. You can go on YouTube and search old news segments. I believe Mario 3 comes to mind. You know, with newscasters talking about the hottest game, Mario 3, and no one can get their goddamn hands on the fucking thing. And, you know, a parent, I just want to get this for my kid for Christmas, or he's going to want to commit suicide now, you know, whatever. And every console since, there's always been some kind of hiccup. Excuse me, I get the phone on the bed and I'm laying down. But there always seems to be these little fucking games with them, and we say to ourselves, why the fuck do we put up with this stuff? But you know what? All you fucking Nintendoites out there, you put up with it. And here's the thing, we vote with our dollars, okay? If we took a stand and said, Nintendo, fuck you, we're tired of this, we're tired of getting our dicks jerked, no more money for you, then this shit probably wouldn't happen. I guarantee you they won't go under. But putting up with this shit time and time again, I really can't put the blame on Nintendo. I put it on you guys. I just don't see it. Because the name Nintendo is on there, everyone's freaking the fuck out. Now Nintendo comes out with this NES Classic Mini thing, and they knew from the start that the need for this was going to be huge. Regardless of what they say their intentions were as far as productivity and numbers were going to be, they knew this was going to be huge, and they knew they could make millions, if not close to $1 billion on this one stupid little console. And the only reason I really truly believe that is, when it was being announced, I heard about this from the strangest fucking sources. I would constantly hear about this new Nintendo coming out. You know, they're bringing the NES back, and that was always just the beginning of the conversation. Nintendo's bringing the NES back. And I'll explain to them it's just a little emulation box, much like the Atari flashbacks and stuff like that. And they'd be like, oh, well, it's still cool. And though the collector and the Nintendo enthusiast was in mind for the market, this thing is mainly built for the guy who doesn't normally play video games, whether it be modern or retro. They're not going to buy a Switch. They just have no interest in it. But they had Nintendo when they were growing up, and it's a nice little nostalgic fucking throwback to yourself. You know, you turn it on, and you remember your mom making you macaroni and cheese with a fucking sandwich on the side and your Kool-Aid while you were playing it, either in your living room or in your bedroom or your furnished basement, wherever the hell you played your video games. Your buddy's house during sleepovers till fucking 3 a.m. And you want to introduce that to your kid, maybe not necessarily that behavior, but these games themselves, because, you know, they're still fun for the most part. And it's interesting, and I've been able to see it firsthand, how these younger cats react to these things. You know, some could care less about it. Other ones totally dig it, and they get it. Little thing about the creep, and this is neither here nor there with anything, but I do suffer from depression. I mentioned it in the past. It's just a part of my chemical makeup, and it just is what it is, and I deal with it. But one of the things that really trigger it, and this is fucking weird, I know, and it's happened since I was a kid, seeing little kids genuinely sad. I'm not talking about little Johnny didn't get his way at the grocery store with a box of cereal that he wanted. Or, you know, Sally didn't get the candy bar that she really wanted while we were at the store. I'm talking genuine, disappointed, sad. And whenever I see that, it really bums me the fuck out. Like, I need to take a second and collect myself. And I see that with this specific product vicariously through the parents. And with this whole, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a piece of plastic. It's just a toy, okay? And that's all it really is in the large scheme of things. It's not going to make a difference in 100 years from now. No one's going to even give a fuck. But for me, this kind of thing is more of a personal level. These aren't just plastic products. They're not just toys, even though I just said they were. These are memories. These hit people in an emotional level that a lot of other products don't. And that's why this industry continues to thrive, especially the retro stuff. It hits people in a different place than most items out in the market that you can buy as a consumer. And Nintendo comes out with this thing, and it touched on that. And they saw the demand was there. And they said, we hear you. But then their next response was, well, we're going to ship a handful out, and if you didn't get it, well, oh well. So now you get a bunch of douchebags out there scalping the fuck out of these, which is another video I intended to make, but chose not to because everyone else was. Making buck off of this in a scummy way. Now, you know what? This is America. You know, supply and demand and all that crap. But the supply and demand goes both ways. The supplier and the demandees. Again, we vote with our dollars. So now you get a bunch of people who are like me, being patient, waiting for this fucking thing. And now there's a panic to get them. The scalpers are going to see this, and now your $150, your $200 consoles are going to be $300 to $400, $500, $600. And people will start fucking paying that because they're going to panic because they can't get this thing in their hands. And it really makes me sad. It really does. So this is a really long-winded video of me basically just saying, look, I know Nintendo jerks you and gives you those funnies in your belly, but vote with your dollar. If you really want one of these that bad, be even more patient. You didn't have it a year ago. If you wait another few months, it ain't going to kill nobody. For fuck's sake, my Wii is loaded with just the entire NES library. Well, that's not the same thing, Chris. Well, this thing isn't the same thing. It just kind of looks like the same thing. It's the idea of it. I can play those games. I have most of what was on there in physical cartridge form. I'm betting that most of you do, too. But if you just let it go, just vote with your dollar and don't buy them. Don't buy them in a store if you see one. Don't buy them from a fucking scumbag up the street that has a Craigslist ad. Demand will go down, and so won't the prices. And there's a good chance that if you just hold off and be patient, you'll probably be able to get one for less than they originally sold for. You get these idiots that have 10, 15, 20 of them stacked up in their house, thinking they're going to make a fucking bank on this. Now they got to fire sell them. Because nobody wants them. They're stuck with all these fucking boxes of Nintendo Mini Classics. So, I don't know. I guess that's just my 2 cents. I know everyone else in the fucking mother has been making videos about this, but I felt like I had to too. I'm really disappointed in Nintendo. I think the Switch is not in my radar. I think I'm going to stick with the PlayStation 4, even though I don't like a lot of the bundles they come out with because I don't play those kind of games. But I'll just probably pick up one of those here in the next month or two. Wait for the Friday the 13th game to come out. Play a little Mortal Kombat online. Probably get tooled by a bunch of 14-year-old kids. And, Bob's your uncle. We'll all have fun. So what's your thoughts? Are you pissed off? Do you care less? I mean, I don't know. I honestly, in one respect, could care less. I couldn't care less. And, I don't know, everything in between. I'm just aggravated that Nintendo keeps jerking us around. But the problem is they keep jerking us around because it works. And that's your fault. Because you put up with it. With your dollars. So, fuck Nintendo. Fuck them right up their stupid little assholes. And that's all I got to say about that. I will probably only buy Nintendo stuff private party secondhand. Because I don't want them to get any of my dollars. For right now, anyway. And that's it, guys. So, thank you so much for listening to my 2 cents on this. I really do appreciate it. Go ahead and leave feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback's positive. Until next time, I hope you're doing well. Take care. And bye-bye. Fuck Nintendo. Hey, what's up, folks? The Creep here. Thank you, as always, so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more. You can follow The Creep on social media, and feel free to reach out at any time here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Creep would love to hear from you. And as always, thank you, take care, and bye-bye.